Hi everybody, Dr. Carrillo here. Welcome to the end of the semester forum on looting. From what I understand, you've already engaged in discussions as facilitated by Dr. Pulte, so I think that's great. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page and fully attentive to the requirements, the assignments, the instructions, and whatnot. So I've created this video to make sure of that. And I'm going to start doing weekly videos, if not daily videos, that I send to Dr. Pulte and that he shows you and you guys go over just to make sure. In other words, there's going to be no reason, no excuse for not knowing about something, not doing well on something as far as I'm concerned, as far as Dr. Pulte is concerned. So make sure you write your Zoom sessions and or on campus, because I'm thinking of going to campus every day that you normally have a Zoom session. I'm thinking of going to class and actually doing class. And so I haven't decided for sure, but it's possible that you can get course bonus points by going to campus for your period of ethics at Conrad and participating in discussions and group-based argument construction and whatnot, all focused on looting and reading articles and discussing and getting course bonus points for that. Even if you already have 40 points for that, that's going to be a possibility. It's also possible that if you come to class, if you come to campus week 13, and you are super active, super participatory, focused on the discussion and the intellectual activities at hand, it is possible that I will waive you from one or both of the assignments where you are to respond to a peer in a discussion board, showing me that you're super focused, super engaged, super participatory means that you could automatically get your 20 points for each peer response thread. For that would replace your peer response thread, in other words, the in-class participatory behavior and mindset that I would see from you. Now, I'm not for sure that I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my COVID test tomorrow to make sure I'm negative, and I also have to email your principal. But I'm just letting you know that. So it might be something that you want to do, but I will be keeping you posted on that. So look out in your emails when it comes to when and if I will be coming to campus weeks 13 and 14. And what the benefits are of that, I will keep you posted. So check your emails throughout the weekend. I'll have updates as soon as I hear back from your principal about me going to class. She already received the idea from Dr. Pulte. She thinks it would be great if I came to class. And so I would love to finish out the year with you guys live, make it worth your while, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so that said, let me go ahead and do my part to make sure we're all on the same page and not missing anything. All right. Okay, period. I've got, sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. I got a text message. Let me pause the video and tell the person I can't respond to them. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back here. All right, so you guys have already completed step 1, or you should have completed step 1. Some of you have already finished step 2, or you are working on step 2. For those of you who have not finished it, by the time you watch this video, I do want to make sure that you understand how important it is for you to follow the video that goes with the article on looting. I do understand that you may have already read it and discussed it, but there are certain lecture points and iterations that I'm going to make with respect to a philosophical ends, my philosophical focus, and calling your attention to certain things. And so you need to make sure you watch that video, and that in watching the video and responding to all the questions and prompts below the link to the video, that you are meeting these requirements. As you guys know, I run a very tight ship. I have very high standards, and I expect a lot from you, and that includes watching videos in their entirety, working carefully and slowly through them. So one way to optimize videos, of course, is you could watch 2 or 3 minutes of the video and then read what this says right here. Oh, and by the way, look, I'm just noticing that in my layout, A is smushed up over here, so watch out for that. Let's see. if that resolves when I increase my screen. Okay, so which word names the most important concept of concern? I'm looking for a one-word answer. So notice here that not only do I give you a question, but that I tell you how, I might give you more information after a question or prompt telling you what kind of an answer I'm looking for, how long I want it, the format of the answer. I might give you clues or tips. So make sure you're practicing intellectual attentiveness and carefulness with respect to this assignment, the topic responses as you prepare to participate in discussion board 4, and of course any remaining assignments like the self-assessment that you do during week 14, and if you're doing the optional test to replace a lower exam grade, studying for that. But make sure that you're reading each item carefully and slowly in this assignment and others, whether it's written information, written questions, written instructions, and paying attention to that. So what you can do is you can read a question, then follow the video for a little bit, and then answer that question. Then once you've answered it, continue to play the video, or you can watch the video all at once. That's a great idea. It's only, for example, these videos are much shorter than some of the other videos I've posted. So for question 1, it's 12 minutes. You could watch the video in its entirety. That will be a nice little warm up to make sure your brain's ready to focus on specifics. After you've watched the video in its entirety, then you can go back to the questions and replay the video to focus on the trees, if you will, of what I wanted you to get out of the lecture and hence the article as a whole. So the second time you could say, okay, I'm going to listen for an answer to this question. Then you play and then pause the video and so forth until you complete everything. All right, so that applies to all of this. Make sure that you are paying attention to wherever I say, here's a video, the instructions, and whatnot. This isn't just about big ideas. This assignment is about the big ideas, which you probably already covered in reading through the article by yourself and or discussing as a class, but it's also about doing a very close analysis by looking at the key concepts and ideas in a more focused way. So let's look at modified step 3. This step will appear only when you complete step 2, but let me put a caveat on that. Okay, so let me see how can I rephrase this. Okay, so if you try to access step 3 before this Saturday, 7 a.m., I believe that's going to be 5/1, you will not see step 3 if you have not completed step 2. So to access step 3, you must submit your responses for step 2 in this folder, okay? Now, remember I extended the deadline for modified step 2, and the deadline is now Friday, 11:59 p.m. Originally, it was Thursday, 11:59 p.m. That is Thursday, April 29th. I already talked about or posted in the announcements why I've extended the deadline for 1 day. You can submit this 1 day late. After that, Saturday, if you want to use your one-time chance to submit an approved assignment late. However, you cannot submit this late if you've already submitted an exam late. So thus far, the only thing you could have submitted late in this class was the stuff from week 1, the mandatory assignments, and an exam. Okay, so if you are trying to access this prior to 7 a.m. Saturday, 5/1, you will see it if you have completed this, if you have submitted this. Keep in mind that you get only one attempt for step 2. You cannot, change your answers once you've submitted them. All right, so step 3, even if you don't get this done, you will still get access to this as early as 5/1. So let's go ahead and go into that. Now the reason why I did that's called adaptive learning and forcing you to work through assignments in a certain way is because step 2 helps to inform your thinking and enrich your intellectual imagination. Okay, so by reading through the article of looting, looking at what I call attention to, that's going to help you do better with respect to the topic responses. So now we're inside the step 3 folder. Make sure you get the updated curriculum for step 3 here. Use this as an outline, as a task list. Do a screenshot. Copy this in writing and use this. Cross through each step and component of a step as you work through this to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. The last discussion board is structured a little bit differently. It actually has 2 topics and 2 components. So read through this carefully. Make sure you read through this carefully when you get to step 3. Please, please, please read through this very carefully. And make sure that you, if nothing else, with respect to this warning about getting a 0 on all of the discussion board because of plagiarizing, make sure that you follow this video here. That's the one that goes over 10 types of plagiarism. As I've iterated, I do not make a distinction between intentional and accidental or unintentional plagiarism. If you plagiarize, it doesn't matter to me. You will get a 0 for that assignment or some aspect of the assignment. Please see the syllabus and what I say. So it's your personal and academic responsibility to make sure that you do have knowledge of the 10 kinds of plagiarism. So what I recommend is that you watch this video before constructing your response to a given discussion board topic, and that you before you actually submit your response to the discussion board topic, that you rewatch this video and make sure that you have not committed any kind of plagiarism intentionally or even accidentally, because you cannot redo this if I find that you've plagiarized and I've assigned you a 0. Make sure you watch this video as well. So in effect, I'm really saying that this is not optional. I have presented this information to you since week 1. You were supposed to complete a graded assignment where you got quizzed on this kind of thing. I presented all of these links to you at the beginning of the semester and during the essay, and at other points I've referred you to go back to week 1 to reread this stuff whenever you were doing discussion boards. Now, I'm going to add something else that is extremely important to your topic responses. So the discussion board 4, okay, is worth 150 points. That's a lot of points. That can make and break you by 2-letter grades. That could bring somebody who has an A down to a C, somebody who has a B down to an F. But that is because when it comes to my job as a professor and as a mentor and as a coach, my job, my desire, my calling, my vocation is to truly educate and prepare you for the academic world, college life. I also want you to help develop you as epistemic agents, as persons, as knowers who take full personal responsibility for reflecting proper academic, intellectual habits, orientations, dispositions, attitudes. And so personal responsibility is one that I've definitely focused on a lot of the semester by enforcing deadlines and whatnot. But I also I would like to say warmly demand, I run a tight ship, but there's a reason for it. I want you to be prepared. I want you to develop the mindset and the practical academic skills that will serve you well the rest of your academic life. Okay, so in making sure that you are aware of and that you do not plagiarize in any way, I am helping you to develop that sense of personal responsibility and help you with respect to future assignments. Okay, so make sure you do that. Now, I'm going to offer you some more coaching and advice. It's still all important. I'm not going to waste my time going through unimportant things. So like I said, you get access to this step 3 prior to 7 a.m. 5-1 only when you completed the step 2 assignment. If you missed the deadline for step 2, the extended deadline Friday, you can make use of your one time to submit something late if you have not already used that chance for an exam, but then your deadline is Saturday, 5-1, 11:59 p.m. In any case, if you're trying to access this, you can access step 3 prior to Saturday, 7 a.m., but only if you've submitted step 2. If you have not submitted step 2, you will not be able to access, this assignment until Saturday morning, 7 a.m. And like I said, step 2 prepares you to do really well on this. Okay, so that said, I want to offer you some more coaching, warnings, and tips. So you don't see this yet. You don't have access to this yet unless you have submitted step 2. But keep in mind that you do have videos here. So you have a video here for step 3I where you get the first topic. There are 2 topics. This video is about 20 minutes. Make sure you follow it. There are missing requirements. There are warnings. There's coaching. This video is a little bit on the longer side, but that's because it applies not only to the first topic that's worth 20 points, but it applies also to the other topic that is worth, and actually topic A is worth 40 points, I realize, and topic B. So this is worth 40 points. So now I'm realizing I was incorrect about this. This is actually 40 points, so by the time you guys get to this video, I should have made this correction. But here I said that if you plagiarize that, hold on, I need to check my facts. Hold on, let me look at the syllabus. Oh, no. Okay, I looked at the syllabus and I caught my mistake. So actually, I'm going to replace these numbers in here. But if you plagiarize, the idea is that you could lose a total of, I did say 150 points. I'm just realizing that I wrote something in writing that's incorrect. So topic 4A is worth 40 points, not 20 points. That means, well, not means, but of course that entails that you need to watch this video. Okay, not only does it apply to 40 points of your grade, course grade, but it also applies to another 40 points for topic B. Okay, so very important. That's why it's so long. It goes with the written stuff. If you don't want to go through this twice, just wait to go through it with me in the video because I read through the written portion and then I give you information that you need to do well on it as we read through it. Keep in mind that you do not get access to the second topic till after you've submitted this. Please, please, please read this carefully. If you don't show attention to one of these things, you're going to end up with a 0 possibly. In fact, you will end up with a 0 if you end up not posting something in a way that I can access it. So the topic B prompt and corresponding video and its corresponding submission link will not appear until after you have submitted your topic response for the discussion board 4A. Once you do that, you might have to refresh your browser window. Give yourself plenty of time to work on this. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that. The thing that I want to finish with is the rest of the semester. You know, make sure that you are really focused on your task, that you're prioritizing, using good time management, making sacrifices in your personal and social life to pass this course. Keep in mind that I offer extra credit in the lectures that I do. So those lecture videos that I pointed you to, some of them have extra credit that you can earn, even if you already have 40 points. I'm going to rescind or cancel what I said in the syllabus saying that 40 points is the maximum extra credit you can get. I will let you get more, but it will depend on you taking the extra credit seriously, really trying to engage with it, performing at a high level, because I still grade extra credit very rigorously. And so what I recommend is that you stay on task, you complete your task earlier rather than later. A lot of you will need to take the comprehensive exam week 14. Therefore, I recommend that you start on the week 14 self-assessment assignment. The day that it becomes available, it will have lectures, it will have lessons, it will have instructions on virtue-based epistemology, intellectual virtue, and how to use that to assess your mindset and orientation as a student of ethics. In the syllabus, it is stated that that assessment is worth 60 points. But it also states that it's worth 160 points. So let me turn the camera to show you what I'm talking about. So the revised syllabus, I didn't catch a mistake. I said that the last item, written analysis and evaluation of your learning, thinking, and communication in this course is worth 60 points. but I also said it's worth 160 points. So when you look at the grand total, critical thinking, right, basic math tells you that I really meant 60 points. At the same time, I realized some of you might have focused on this number, whether or not you should have, and so you might have been counting on those extra 100 points. So I figured out a way to resolve this. If you are happy with earning just 60 points, the self-assessment for you will be comprised of 3 paragraphs. If you want to earn up to 160 points for the last assignment, you're going to have to write 6 paragraphs. So if that's you, you definitely need to start on the self-assessment, the week 14 thing, earlier rather than later. Now, how does this tie into doing the comprehensive exam? Because some of you have a 0 for exam, or you have an F for the exam, or maybe even you have a D for an exam. I didn't mean to say the exam, I meant to say for an exam. Some of you really have to do it or could do it to improve the likelihood that you get a higher level grade. So what I recommend then is week 13. You get those, if I tell you that you can come to class to do the discussion board live, basically have the discussion live, do that. Get the extra credit for doing that, get the benefit of doing that, whatever. But do the task that I post as soon as possible. So when it comes to, responding to peers, either in class, in person, or on the discussion board, okay? Like I said, I haven't decided that I'm going to let you replace the written discussion board with attending class. Attending class might just be extra credit. Do that as soon as possible. Get that out of the way. That way, you can use most of week 13 to start preparing for the comprehensive exam you take week 14. That is an optional exam. You do not have to take it. No one has to take it. But some of you do need to take it if you want to pass the class. But it's not a required exam. You have to choose to take it. Okay. But that's the strategy I'm giving you, right? Then, what you will do is when the assessment assignment becomes available, Monday of week 14, learn all about it and start working through it. Finish it, I would say, by Wednesday of week 14. Make sure you're focused on working through all the videos in that. And then that leaves you 3 more days to study and prep for the comprehensive exam. If you have an A in the class, you probably do not need to do this comprehensive exam if you have an A or A+. If you're shooting for a B and you have a B+, you probably don't need to do that. But it doesn't hurt to prepare just in case you don't do so well on the remaining assignments. Okay, so that is all I have for you. I did schedule a few meetings with some of you who want to make sure you pass the class or get the highest grade possible. And I ended up giving some course bonus points for doing that. I am no longer doing that during weeks 13 and 14. Of course, as your professor, I'm willing to chat with you or whatnot. But in terms of formulating a strategy or a plan to be successful in the course, I've pretty much just given it to you. What we can do is meet to look at the math of your situation. But I've already given you the strategy. So like I said, I won't be meeting for course bonus points with students about passing the class after this week. I guess that's all I have to say. All right, but feel free to connect with me about about just the math of your score, and we could meet to discuss that. Okay, bye. I cover a lot in